Hi, I'm Jeff the Junk Seller. This presentation is going to be about Canton Flea Market, an insider's view from a vendor's perspective. This month was supposed to have been the best month of the year. It's November. In Texas, we're limited. We in the middle of the winter we have markets, but the crowds thin out after December. January and February, even March can be a little slow. And then in the heat of the summer, we don't have good months there either. But we October, November, and December are generally pretty good. With November generally being the top of the market. I did really well this month. Um, Many of my deals were wholesale deals, and I had some fairly large sales, like the Hoffman beverages sign that I bought on the Highway 80 sale and sold. That was a $500 sale. It's pretty easy to stack up a lot of money when you're making sales that large. But I also had an order for 120 or 125 soda crate cases. Ended up being like $1,300. They're going to the Netherlands. It's a fella that I've sold to a couple of times. He has some kind of vending arrangement with sellers in England, the Netherlands, and Denmark. Yeah, I don't think that these were going to Netherlands. I think that these were going to Denmark. Um, but the sale this month. This would have been the November 2024 sale. It actually starts about October 25th and goes through went through to November the 3rd. But I put up my tent and my tables on the 27th. I didn't do anything because of the threat of rain. There's a concrete block wall where I generally stack a bunch of soda crates, but I was held up by the weather. I didn't want to get those wet. The paint ends up flaking, and they can get moldy. And I didn't want to subject them to that. And I sell a lot of paper, and I didn't want to subject any of that to the weather either. So I kept my eye on the forecast. I set up my tent and my tables on Sunday evening, and I brought some other stuff out, but not much. But on September, I mean on Tuesday, October the 29th, I checked the weather one more time about 6 o'clock in the evening, and it showed that Wednesday, it had been showing that Wednesday was going to be rainy all day. Showed that Wednesday was going to be clear, and I couldn't afford to give up as many days as the weather was asking me to, and I got into panic, and I got a couple of van loads out there, got everything set up through the night, through Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, and started making sales, pretty substantial sales on Wednesday morning. And it's part of the deal when you start doing these outdoor markets. The weather, it can kill you, but we had horrible weather forecasts. It kept telling us rain, 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 and wound up being that we had very, very little rain. And I think that if the weather forecast had been better, that we would have had a larger crowd and I would have made more money. But as it stood, I think in the end I made about $3,000. But the highlight of the sale for me was the purchases that I got to make. Um, Nebraska Dan was down. He was set up across from me, a couple of spaces down, and I was able to buy. He was giving me sweetheart deals. It was only $20 here, $35 there, $30 there. Handfuls, trinkets, little stuff. And I priced a bunch of that stuff out and got it in my display cases. I'll be showing those as groups in this presentation, and I'll have some video clips of stages of my setup there at Canton. But I also, I had to make a couple of runs. I sold enough that I was having to make runs back to my storage unit just to be able to get more inventory to stack up out there because, it was selling. Yeah, I'd bring 100 soda crates, and end up selling 40 of them, you got to go restock. But it was an interesting sale this month, and next month should be good too. I'm going to start doing at least one presentation, and I hope to get better at it. I don't have all the film clips that I need to make a really good presentation. I went searching for them a little while ago, and I just have some of what I should have. And I think that next month I'll have more. Try to show a little more in depth about what it is that you have to go through when you want to be a vendor at one of these markets. But I'm gonna end this here, and then I'm gonna add a couple of the video clips that I took through the market, and add those to this presentation.